He's still going. Butler over in the corner. That's the line. Over the line he rolls. Burnside. Brighton. Collegians have turned it over. Oh, he's got it again. He's got to go. Spry will do very well. Spry will go out. Port Adelaide will push out. And they will push on there. So, ladies and gentlemen, 231 days after that afternoon down at Onkaparinga, we are back with you. My word, it's been a long way. As per normal, I'm Dave Webb. I'm joined today by Steph Redmond. Steph, welcome.
Thank you, Dave.
We've obviously just had all of the festivities have got out of the way. Been absolutely fantastic. The anthems of both New Zealand and Australia in the Ode. We are about, well, we're going to get ready to go almost straight away.
We are into it.
Now, team news. Obviously, we've not seen these teams since that grand final.
A few changes.
A few changes. Burnside looked relatively settled, but we talked about it briefly. No Setefano Thakau. He's having a year off.
Correct.
This year, apparently. And your big centre's gone, but Joe is back, and Pitta will go into his third year. But we are off and running as the sun drops below the horizon.
Pitta straight from the takeoff.
Right on cue, Pitta will add himself into this game.
Mitch Wink with a nice hit up. Good to see him back in the 6th jersey.
Plummer will look to spread to Satala. Satala looking for a gap inside to Butler. Over the top of Butler, stands, wonders what's gone on, and then carried on. Nice to see Logan Brown back in the black and yellow.
Little knock forward there. Cleaned up and kicked downtown.
So Pitta will go back and look to build a counter-attack.
Out to Joe on the wing.
A little bit of a bouncing bomb, but the first step will get him on the outside. Off the legs of Pitta, so Burnside can go again. Did well, let it go, went again. Marshall.
Straight into Jacob France.
That was an immovable object.
Yes, recently returned from a trip overseas.
Big defence in from Butler, and interesting to see Butler back in the centres. Got moved out last year with the injection of the Northern Territorians. Rahali will send it to Van Dissel.
Nice boots and all tackle. Ryan France.
Short run, not honoured. Rahali again.
Jacob Devlin, strong hit up, just over the advantage line.
The back row of Burnside has been very, very settled over the last couple of years.
There's some constant faces out there, isn't there?
Another bouncing ball, but it does well for Green. Green will look on the outside. He'll find Barker. Barker will put the foot down. Barker will score the first points of the season, and Burnside will shout, strike early. Everyone kind of stopped for the bouncing ball, Steph.
I think they did. They should play on. Couple of moments of ball watching leads to an outside ball. Lovely pickup though, and a nice wide ball created the width. Tram tracks all day.
Nigel Lamsam directing traffic in the background as a good number 7 would.
Something to say.
So they won't mind me saying, because I've spoken to a lot of the Burnside boys. They didn't come to the party. Grand final. I think when you play the amount of time you do with a 2-man advantage and you don't make it pay on the scoreboard.
Yes, you've got to take the opportunities while you can, but finals footy's a whole different game, isn't it?
It is, and it's interesting that you say that. Year on year, we've seen Brighton early season in an Anzac Day game, and generally
slow to start.
Very, very slow to start, all the way through any season, really. They've always been slow to start, and come home when they need to.
Turn up for the silverware.
Well, I mean that's all. That's the important bit, isn't it?
That's it. You can play a whole year, be around the mark, but come grand final day, it's when it all has to count.
So Rahali will push that one, and
just across the face.
Burnside Brighton didn't take long to come to life.
Nope.
But certainly Brighton looked as if they were going to. They looked dangerous.
I don't think we're going to be wanting for action today. I think it's going to be bought by both sides. There's plenty of influence out there, and second kickoff.
Bullower gets it again. They're 100% from these kickoffs.
Cleaned up by Keegan Laston. Ball's there for Hector Caron. Out to Donny Clune. Solid runner.
That's a man who's moved forward as he's progressed. Plummer will find Joe. Puts it on the boot.
And out.
Goes out. Everybody's happy with the challenge. I think that's one of those, you could overanalyze that challenge. Was it late? Were there any arms in it?
Well,
that's right, you could overanalyze it.
But let's just
watch rugby.
Carry on and play the game.
Yes.
So it's not gone into touch. We're going for first scrum of the game.
Hector Caron didn't don the 9 jersey starting in any game that we saw last year.
No, he
came off the bench a lot.
He turned up halfway through the season and has sort of gelled himself into the starting 9 position. Very exciting player.
Two of the best scrums in the league, you would think.
Yeah, there's not a lot of give on either side.
Messy out the back though,
middle.
And Brighton have pounced on it. All too messy though, and our referee, of course, Mr. Peter Snoop Jackson. So it's basically rinse and repeat for the grand final, same referee.
Yep. Just a few months later.
So another scrum in a very decent position, a big blind side for Joe to work in, and you know he likes time and space.
Or he can have 5 metres and still make time and space.
So Barker put his mark down nice and early. He's taking the upper hand in this battle of the wingers, which will be a fun little battle, you think? Already looking to shape this way, and they have gone that way. Can Caron find him? He will find him. Joe will pick up and he will go over. 1 for 1.
Basic set move. 8 to 9 to winger.
Was always going to happen.
I suppose when you've got 25 metres of blindside, you've got a lot of options, either open or blind.
But the writing was on the raw wall. Central scrum. The winger is dangerous as Joe.
Yep, exactly. Every day of the week.
I bumped into him before I came over to the commentary position. A massive smile as per usual. That young man loves to play rugby.
Oh, loves it. He would train every day and play every day if he could.
So we are just over 5 minutes in and we're a try apiece. They're certainly going to ask Plummer a question from out here.
Yep, he has some work to do. All his practice in the off season. Let's see if it pays off. Nope.
He set it out hoping it would come back and it never did.
Just got under it a fraction by the look of that one.
No, we have talked about some haircuts and some beards and some stuff that's going on in the winger. I think is Woodland, wearing the number 14. He has a shock of blue hair.
I would have just said a shocker.
Something's gone wrong. He went in and asked for that.
I think it has to be lost bet or something. You wouldn't do that normally, would you? Nice take by Mitch Wenk.
Caron will send it to Logan Brown. Nice to see him back. The journeyman.
Yes. He's put some work in on the off season, looking fit and ready to play. Ball out to Pitter, making good yards.
Penalty.
Offside penalty.
Offside, yeah.
Yes. Brighton should take their time just to slow it down a bit. I reckon they'll be going for the touch. Plummer with ball in hand. No mistakes about that one.
So I think this is our first lineup.
Yes.
Be interesting to see how the team's set up.
Full line out. Mitch Wenk to throw.
Yeah, so Logan not getting to throw the darts. Good line out. Caron has to clean up the messy ball. Butler will find Pitter, hard and straight. One low, one high. I wonder whether they'll manage to keep going with that all day, because you can't let him get his hands free. Plummer again looks for a gap, finds a gap. Plummer will float it over the top to Satala. One more to Joe.
Juggling.
Juggled it. Oh, it's gone out into touch. Nearly came down with that.
3 goes before being bundled into touch.
Brighton, you're going to get it now, boys. Be patient, boys.
So our sideline man picking up some coaches.
Plenty of assistance from the sideline as per usual.
They're always right, aren't they?
Of course, us.
Sambrook will find it.
Clean in the middle, well sacked.
They have to be very, very clean, and it's not.
In the side. And then collapsing.
Of course, 12 months ago, we saw the line out in a very similar position that we talked about for about a week.
We did. Everyone was talking about it for a week.
I think we even got referees from Rugby Australia involved in that conversation.
Let's watch for a ball coming our way.
Over the top of us.
Well
taken in this crowd.
Come on, Brighton. Come on, boys.
So Burnside have advanced themselves up to the 10-metre line.
See whether they can be as clean again. Sambrook is going to...
Slow into the line out, shortened. 4-man to the back.
Marshall.
Lean as.
Lamsam steps into halfback. So it's kind of settled down into the game that we thought we would see.
Some good solid defence out in the centres. Nice long place, ball back again cleanly.
And then we'll go out to Green. I don't think... Talk a bit more about Fraser Green when we have chance. Burnside just taking it off in little chunks at the moment. Rahali sends it into midfield. Good ball retention from Burnside at the moment. Rahali again. For Hamilton, another bouncing pass from Hamilton.
Well covered with defence though.
So the score is 5-all.
Back for a penalty.
A penalty. So I don't think we've seen much of Fraser Green since we had a match where he copped a boot. Ended up with surgery, I think. It's nice to see Harrison Rahali stepping up into the
that's not out.
seniors. He's gone an interesting way.
That's an interesting kick.
Straight into the arms of Joe. Joe will look for the bounce. Will he get the bounce? He does get the bounce. Thought about going inside, then goes all the way back. Pitter will send it across to Brown. Oh, nearly.
Attempted an intercept.
It did.
It was flying.
You just saw the blue flash across your screen. Very, very close to an intercept. Another scrum. It's settled down into what I thought it would be. I thought we'd see more of a settled start. Obviously, they both got the pre-season jitters out of the way now.
Yep. 10 minutes into the game, things generally settle down a fraction. Good dominant scrum here from Burnside. Nice attacking play should be able to come from a platform here. 8 off the back.
Marshall will go down that blind side, then almost inside to Devlin.
And slight loss forward there.
Just a bit messy. It's going to take people a little bit of time. It's going to take people a little bit of time just to settle into the game. Nigel Lamsam looking for, thought it was a free kick.
Don't ask, you don't get. Another scrum set. They've just shut down the blind side a fraction more though. Still enough room out there. It's like 15 in.
But both very, very solid at the moment. Both of the scrums very, very solid.
Quick ball in.
Raleigh again.
Ball's out.
There is Woodland. I didn't think they were going to get away with that, and they were. Well, Rahale wanted to go quick, wasn't allowed, but behind Mr. Jackson.
It's the old adage, you've got to play it in front of the ref.
It's this tackle situation. I know that that's something that has been talked about in the off-season with the officials.
Around the breakdowns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rolling away, getting away quickly.
Or not, yes.
Yeah. They seem to have just tidied up that if you're competing with someone and you lose your feet, you're okay.
Correct. If you're the tackler, you've got to get in and out straight away. So we're lining up for 3 points. We'll be about 28 out. Not much of an angle.
So it looks like Fraser Green is going to take the points, or attempt the points.
Take the kick.
Take the kick, attempt the points.
No wind to speak of. Great evening for rugby.
It is a lovely evening. I am prepared for the cold change that we always get down here at CME Sports Lighting Rugby Field.
Glad one of us is prepared.
You're a big tough Kiwi.
Oh yeah.
Green
Lovely
will set
strike.
it on its way, just drive it through the uprights.
Straight through the middles. 8-5. 15 minutes in.
It has settled a lot.
We've, yeah, I think the first 10 minutes of nerves and rust and pre-season are out of the way, and the boys are sitting down to their game plans. They're starting to chat, starting to get their lines and stuff sorted out.
So if I was a betting man, I would have said that Brighton won the toss and chose to run away from the sun in the first half, because I think Rich Wosley knows this place better than anybody else. I think that sun's going to be gone by second half.
Second half it'll be very low.
But it's a nasty one, and Satalan just needed an extra wheat bix this morning. Burnside have decided to go.
One off.
Is their right to do that? Strong running from English. Marshall looks for a gap, can't quite find one, and will fight to ground. Rahali again will look to just reload to Sambrook. Sambrook will run at 2 Brighton shirts.
Ball's there, straight through the middle for him.
Rahali had to go and do the hard yards. Starting to be a bit scrappy now. Still there. Lamsam. Oh, Rahali had it nicked from him. Murphy, and then just coughed up from the ground.
That late surge, unprotected.
Caron is sniping and has beaten a couple, and then manages to get it out to Pitter. Can he get his hands free and offload? He can.
Oh, big hit on Butler.
He got that standing up.
I think he was just flat-footed and
Logan Brown.
solid hit, and then good leg drive. Ball's there for Caron. Out to Murphy.
Plummer out the back.
Oh,
the bounce grubber pass has worked. Out to Joe, but there is a whistle, and he'd beaten one.
Light knock on by Mitch Wink there, just on the second bounce.
Now I know Logan Brown will absolutely adore me for saying this, but my word, how good a shape is he in?
He's worked bloody hard.
I don't think I've seen him in that good a shape for a couple of years now.
Yep, he's come back from his leg injury from last year, the year before, and I think he's set to have a good year for rugby. So Burnside scrum, 55 out and 15 in.
Not a massive blindside, but Joe wants to be involved. Burnside had to go digging for it, but got there. Green puts it on the boot.
Satala covering at the back and
Lets
all
it
over
go.
the line.
I mean, Satala keeps going. I mean, you never know how old he is. I don't think he'd tell you if you asked him.
No, I don't think so either.
But he keeps going. And one of the smartest fullbacks in our league, I think, Nathan Satala.
He's a very good read of the game, doesn't he?
Deceptively quick as well,
Very deceptive.
just in general.
Lovely take off the top of the line out there.
Caron will fly and claw. That's a ball and all hit from Hamilton. Looked okay.
Yep, it was ball and all at the same time as he got the ball for Butler. Ball's back again. Butler.
Plummer will step inside, then he will find a little bit of space. Runs to another arm, then can give it out to Pitter. Just stepped him back, then out to Joe. Forward pass.
I think the spin and extra step just might have propelled it forward.
You'd be asking a question, wouldn't you?
Oh, probably not. Too late, the whistle's gone.
I would imagine a lot of too late, the whistle's gone, ladies and gentlemen.
Never going to change a ref's mind.
No.
You're just forward.
Put another scrum.
Similar position to the last one.
Yeah, rinse and repeat. The Burnside backs in a little huddle.
Big scrum, Brighton. Big
I think they're
scrum.
talking about that haircut.
So we're just seeing half breaks at the moment.
Big scrum.
Marshall
off the
again will go. Crosses halfway.
Ball's out.
Hamilton will put it on the boot. Another whistle, a loud whistle. You think it's going to be a penalty, and it is. Rahale will send it down the line into the basketball court.
Halfway between the 10 metre and the 22. Nice attacking zone for Burnside. Halfway through the first half. Shorten line out again from Burnside.
Kieran Sambrook will put the ball in.
And untidy off the top, but
Gets
cleanly
there.
out for the backs.
Oh, and there's a big break. Alan Henderson just tapped as he gets there, but he's right underneath the posts. Less than 5 meters out. Rahale sends it out to Hamilton. Devlin was on the short line and gave it away. But there's another penalty. We're getting extra comments from the sideline saying he took him out early.
Plenty of
Let's just have a look.
sideline.
Oh, it's borderline.
The ref just having a quiet chat with the Brighton players.
Yeah, so that's what he's gone. He's gone early. So he's gone early. And we do have some unofficial scores from around the grounds. Port Adelaide getting up 33 points to 27 over Woodville. Southern Suburbs putting a marker down. 79-0 over Elizabeth. A close one down at Waite Oval. Adelaide University beating Barossa 20 points to 19.
That would have been a solid match.
Down at Onkaparinga. Onkaparinga 24, Old Collegians 32. So some interesting
results,
scores
yes.
down there. And obviously 5 points to wait.
22 minutes gone. Burnside elected for the scrum.
So they're confident in it, and they've obviously got something up their sleeve.
You just about have to say 8's going to pick, wouldn't you?
Looking for the pushover.
There you go.
He will go, and out the back to Rahale. Rahale will drop it back inside to Green. Green gets stuffed. Again, just within 5 meters of the line. Rahale has to go digging for it a little bit. Manages to shake through a gap. Still there though. And penalty? Penalty. So big backs to the wall. Big back to the wall defence from Brighton. And they will get themselves out.
Plummer peeling off 20 odd metres, pushing up towards the 10 metre line.
Right on the top of the VIP area. So a Brighton lineup.
They have a full line out.
Wonder whether we're going to see anything from Wasley. Whether he's got anything in his, I imagine he has a little green book of plays. Up towards halfway. Caron sends it to Plummer. Flat ball again, they're just bouncing and Satala has to go and get it, leaves it. Little knock on there. So we've seen that a couple of times, just people haven't quite got their ranges at the moment.
I think they're just trying to push the pass, not quite making their targets.
So another scrum. So another Burnside scrum. 25 minutes gone. See whether they can launch anything from the back of this one.
Solid platform there, ball's out.
Hamilton out into midfield. Good yards after contact.
Straight hard running. Ball's set again. Carrying on the same way.
Lamsam, flat ball. Out to Woodland. Woodland is tackled. Popular tackle.
Right in front of the
the
Brighton tent.
The Brighton faithful, just letting them know what they think of his haircut.
Welcoming him back to the 2019 season. And we'll set for another scrum.
Big story. It's nice to see Barry Cooper back coaching. Coaching the under-16s.
He is coaching the under-16s.
Probably one of the most successful coaches in South Australia. Will be the most successful rugby in South Australian rugby. Big shove from Burnside. Plummer gets it though, looks for a gap, finds a gap, beats two. Just held on to it probably a little bit too long and snaffled by Marshall. Thought about it. I think Williamson would have been lucky to get away with that one. Ball comes back Burnside's way.
Pick and go.
They are happy just to take off yardage in chunks, aren't they?
A meter's still a metre across the advantage line. A nice solid run there. Ball's reset.
Marshall again will go.
Back to the blind side.
Johnny Van Dissel will make a couple of yards. Hamilton held and gave it to Devlin. Ball and all again.
Good boots and all tackle by Williamson. Ball's out again. It's propped in the centre field. Running back into traffic. Held up by Logie Brown. Ball's still available.
Do like to build and build and build. It's a slow burn at times with Burnside.
Held up in that tackle. Finally gets to ground. Ball's back again.
Tiring to defend for that long, isn't it?
Choice of 3 for that ball. Back into traffic. Ball's reset.
I think there's been a change for Burnside. Penalty. Caron and Rahali. Just introducing each other.
Welcoming each other to the season.
Joel Plummer will just look to push them along the line. It is, so if you were the coaches of either of these teams, I know Rich Wasley is very much about running and playing free rugby. Oh, just tried to get it away and just couldn't get there. I just
Tyler just cleaning it up.
get the feeling at the moment that both of these teams are playing not to lose at the moment.
Ooh, nice strip in the tackle. I think we'll come back to the scrum though.
It just feels a little bit that way at the moment as we...
A bit reserved.
A little bit reserved from both sides. It feels like neither side really wants to push the envelope.
I'd have to agree. Game 1 of the season, you generally don't want to go hammer and tongs. I don't think everything's quite ironed out. Just want to get your basic rights and keep to your basic game plan, I think, at the start of the season.
And Rich Wasley is famous for not showing his hand in broadcast games as well.
This is always true.
He does like to keep a few things under his hat.
He likes it written down on paper so he can remember it later on. He doesn't need it out there for everybody else.
That's it. Big loud bass and a penalty. Scrub penalty.
Driving it, boring in by the looks of the signal.
So Plummer will send it down the line. Just having a look on our own.
On our replay, just
He seemed quite square, but I don't know.
it's the other movement where your hip steps out and then you decide to come in and have a look at what the hooker's got written on his shoes.
I think scrum should be like Moss Isley, lawless. Just let them go.
The dark art.
Yeah, just let it go. Lots of movement, and then they'll go on the back. Caron, flat ball to Butler.
Trying to punch through in the centre. Well contained.
Felt a
Ball
little
again.
bit isolated, but was patient enough to help. Satala almost got that one in the chops. Then out the back to Pitta. Looking for time and space. Finds a little bit of space. Then he will put the foot down. Get through a couple. Tackle was made, not held on. Said there was no clear release.
Oh,
So
I don't think he was held in the tackle there, but
it's the first time that Pitt has been able to actually,
stretch the legs.
get into top gear. Oh, I don't even think he was in
No,
top
I don't
gear
think he was
then.
in top gear either. One step and another down, not held. Places the ball, didn't release it, penalised. Play back up to halfway.
That is an impressive kick from, I think it was Fraser Green who did it. It's an impressive kick. As I was mentioning to you before, this is a wide pitch. Or I'm an old man, one of the two.
Let's go with that one. Standard size.
Interestingly, off the top to Rahali, then to Lamsam, who just head down and straight through.
Robbie Ferguson around the bootlaces.
It'll straighten again, hitting the back, Hamilton. Rahali has lots of time. Goes out to Van Dissel. Nice little short pop ball from English to Marshall. Marshall managed to shake out the first one, then will offload to Sambrook. Sambrook scragged to ground, and the counter ruck comes from Brighton, but
Side
not through the
injury.
gate.
I think Snoop might have a word here. Too many penalties around the breakdown.
He's going to go and have a chat with Nathan Satala. Sus, as he is affectionately known.
That's probably the last warning that Brighton's going to get for breakdown penalties.
And the thing is, in the first 32 minutes of this game, Burnside around the breakdown have been almost faultless.
They've been very clinical at the breakdown.
Yeah, they're working together.
They've locked in. They've had a nice platform. The ball protection's been exceptional. Down and
Simple
drive.
2 ball. They're going to look for the drive. Brighton have read it though. Just rolled off the side of it. It's an interesting one from Clune if he gets away with it. He might just have got away with it. Then he's not moving. Whistle goes to mouth.
Small ball. Turnover.
Well, okay. Well, yeah, he doesn't have to move if he's called a maul and it's gone down.
Correct. And that was
I think it's
that was Ryan.
big Ryan Murphy.
Ryan Murphy in there with the steal at the end.
So another scrum. This one is Brighton's scrum, and it's in a danger area. Lamsam, he is sneaky. Knows where and when the referee is looking. Burnside happy. Short ball to Lassen.
Just slowing the game down a fraction just for an exit.
Plummer's gone very, very high. It might work out for them. Woodland, but there's a big loud blast there again, and then we're going to just take some time off. Time has come off. I wonder whether he's gone to a pocket. Just wondering who he's calling over. He's talking to Satala. Who's he giving it to? Ryan France. There must have been something behind the ball. I didn't see what that was for.
Time back on. Quick tap. Out to the centres.
Lamsam with a little show and go. Lamsam will go over under the posts, and Lamsam will score. You give him an opportunity, and he will take it.
Created the opportunity there. Just fended off a tackle and created his own holes.
Just two Brighton players reaching. You got two of them reaching.
One happy camper. First try for the year for him. First game. It's always good to get the first one on the board.
So 13 points to 5 with the kick to come. Less than 5 minutes to play in this first half. And as we approach the half time, there's still a heck of a lot of rugby to play. Who would be the happier coach?
You'd have to say Burnside. Burnside are being more clinical. They're making less mistakes, and I think their precision's just up a notch over Brighton at this stage.
Green wastes no time, drives it through again. So 15 points to 5 as we approach half time. Now, can they make the extra player count? Obviously, it was a question that they were asked in the grand final, and one they really failed to answer.
Brighton just need to tighten up and focus on their first. This is the second.
So Tyler has gone again. This time Pitter plays it to prevent Burnside carrying on, which they kind of wanted to, it looked like, again. So it will be a scrum at midfield. You wonder whether... We haven't seen much of Woodland over on that far side, but now he's got a lot of space.
Centre field scrum, well, they've got options both ways.
So he's got Robbie Ferguson over that side, and then Satala will be trying to work out what's going on and read it early.
4-2 split for the backs for this one. You'd have to think to go 8-9 out to the right.
You would think it would. Marshall does love a pickup, and he has gone.
8-9 out to the right.
Gone to Alan Henderson. He's caught very, very high. Arm goes out. Splits the two Brighton defenders. Murphy tries to come back, and it'll go out to Van Dissel. Little bit untidy, but we're going to come back, you think, for the penalty? And if it is a penalty and nothing more, he's lucky. Just looking who that is. That Lamsam on the ground as well? He wasn't the recipient of the tackle.
think.
It is Lamsam, yeah, it is Lamsam. So you probably expect Burnside to just push this down the line?
I don't know. Yeah, from there, 40 out.
It's a big leg if they were to go for points, but
I think they'll kick 5 metres out. Middle ball on the line out, drive it.
we have seen the Burnside driving maul before. They are capable of it.
Very capable, and it's quite an effective weapon that they use.
Wonder whether Rich Wosley would be would still try the no compete tactic.
I think from here, I think they'll be contesting this line out.
They'll go to the back. They are going to look to build the drive from the back. Good sack though again.
Ryan Murphy again, and running straight back into traffic.
Getting his name called a little bit, Ryan Murphy. He's been impressive.
He is. His work rate's been very good.
Marshall will put his hand up for some more yards. Van Dissel will move towards the 5. Lamsam will step in at halfback. Then they will go out the back to Hamilton. Offloads again. Now they will come wide out to Green. Green, 2-on-1. Oh, go for the corner. Just decided to slow down and step back inside. Marshall has to clean it up. No, Devlin has to clean it up, and he does it and does it well. Lamsam again into halfback.
Half gap sort of shut down.
Someone's got to let it go. There's knees on the floor. Oh, and then there's a sneaky hand in there. I think he's gone the knock on. Felt like there was a sneaky hand in there. It's just a lot of backs to the wall defence for the Brighton boys at the moment.
Defending hard. Been in their 22 for a lot of the game.
There you go, the Brighton scoreboard. I do think that's time for an update.
Right now?
No. It's. We talked about it last year, and I'll talk about it again. I don't like it. I think if you surrender in that tackle and just put your knees on the floor, then you should lose the ball. You should lose possession. I get why they do it in 7s, because you want to keep 7s moving. In 15s, I don't like it.
Why?
Because it feels like a surrender.
It's part of the rules.
I know that.
You fight,
but
you fight to get to the ground. You get your knee on the ground. It's a tackle ball.
Then it just feels like a loophole.
A loophole.
I don't like it.
You can't make the rules up as you go, Dave.
Well, I can give it a good hard shot.
I know you do. So looks
Fraser
to be a
Green,
bit of trouble with the right knee.
Yeah, just having a look at his knee. He's not got it taped. And normally when people have knee recons, they will have it taped.
It's just a target tape. I'm sure the surgeons will say he doesn't need tape on.
Well, his other one is.
Like I said, it's a
His other one
decoy.
is taped. Yeah, hit this one.
Seems just a bit ginger on it, but I reckon he'll be right. Slight grimace on the twist, but
Trainer will just stay with him and just keep an eye on him. So we're going to get to see a Brighton line out almost bang in front of us. Interesting little conversation in the background. Caron talking to Joe.
We are having the substitution.
Was that it for Green? It's
Looks like
an interesting one. So Barker has gone back to fullback. That would be a shame. But of course, we do have roll on, roll off. He can come back. Well, it depends what we put on the car. I know. There is no way they're taking injury on the card, is there? Again, that's a conversation we can have. Good work on the line out from
Lucky to get
Murphy.
that player in the air, but
Big, strong from Murphy. Butler will fire it out. Just stands up Satala. Then Joe has made his way all from this room and then just eventually dragged down. Plummer will step in at halfback to Satala, showed it, then stepped back inside, beat the first one, then rolls away from Lamsam. Tremaine Butler will now have a go at halfback.
Sam Williamson, direct running. Ooh,
Good counter ruck. Forces Satala to do something with it, and he's managed to make something out of it. Another big counter ruck. Caron looking for options, then we'll just basketball pass it all over the top. Oh, that's it's an incredible interception, but we are coming back. So we come back for a penalty. Plummer wants it. You just see Green in the background still getting that knee work done. And when the physios are trying to manipulate the knee like that, it's not a good sign.
I'm going to be the optimist on that one. I think they're just working it to see whether it's just a slight knock.
Yeah.
If it was that bad, I reckon they wouldn't be messing around with it. They'd just straight wrap it up and put him on a seat.
Yep. No messing around.
Nope. Here's hoping it's not too serious for him.
So Jacob Rum Marshall using his experience, getting out the longest way possible. France will look.
Taking another metre.
This is where the big boys want it. Marshall just fires at the knees of,
yes.
And he's been penalised.
Got to keep your feet when you're trying to clean out.
As long as it's a legitimate contest, you can lose your feet.
You can.
That wasn't.
No, it's just straight diving at a knee. Into the corner. 5 metre line out for Brighton.
So it's fractions, isn't it, for Wank, as he throws this ball in. The last one we saw was literally just over the fingertips. It worked out okay, and France could tidy it up. But this is one that the hours of practicing, hitting the same spot. Oh, and they've gone quick.
Short ball.
Gone quick to Brown. Cortazol and Marshall again taking his time. Doesn't matter, just held up short. Murphy nearly got himself on the score sheet. Backs to the wall stuff for Burnside now.
Knock on
Brighton. Lots of head pats and chest bumps and
pushes.
Yeah.
Well done, mate, I think.
That is and that's half time.
That is half time.
So 15 points to 5. We got halfway through the first game of our first game of the season, and Burnside in the driver's seat. We will be right back with you shortly, wherever you are. Make sure you don't go away. Yeah, so welcome back. Not sure whether there's been any half-time changes. We'll pick it up, but certainly the double blues will be happier. They would have been happier in at the half-time team talk. Yes. Just early season mistakes, but again, we did talk about it before. It is going to be. It's very, very normal for Brighton to start slowly a season.
Slow start to the season. Yep, they'll make inroads as the season gets along. Always do.
Always do. Restart from Brighton. Sorry, Burnside. Caron to Plummer, out to Pitter. Lots of space.
Oh, nice little handoff to Satala. Well. Centering.
Satala was just looking for a little bit of space.
Down. Nice little run by Sam Williamson.
Someone's lost a boot. Caron. Out to Murphy, who's matched strongly. I think that's Sambrook who got him, who it was. Caron again, just looking for something. Out to Logan Brown. Logan Brown with a little show and go, rolling back the years, young man. Black and yellow shirts stream forward, and then we'll set up the platform. Butler sends it on to Wenk. Then out to Joe, then to Satala. Satala, just sit down, be humble. It's a big bump from Satala. Didn't really go anywhere though.
Just sort of ran out of room.
And just having a look, because, you know, like we said, next week Brighton travel to Tregenza Oval to take on Old Coles. Burnside hosting Onka Paringa. Other than that, the match is kind of South's taking on Woodville.
That wasn't very straight and called.
Well, you've called that from a long, long way away. Good eyes.
The halfback nearly caught it. Come on. Brighton back to 15 players.
And they weathered that storm again.
They did. It was a tough 10 minutes, but well, it's more like a long first half for them. But they defended very well.
2 matches next week you want to keep an eye on. Burnside versus Onkers and Old Coles taking on Brighton. They're 2 matches you want to keep an eye on. Murphy will go and step inside and just find a little bit of space, get himself inside the 22. Caron is there quickly. Logan Brown will take on Lamsam. Sorry, that's not Lamsam, that's Takaki.
Ball still there.
He's on the long run. Up came from the boundary fence, Williamson.
And try.
And over the line he goes. He came from an absolute mile back.
Finally got his boot back on and runs himself in for a try.
Slowed up a little bit, but just rolled out of the tackle and over the line. And that's 15-10.
Very kickable position there.
So that penalty is going to be the difference, it would look like. They come off a long run up, but they all count.
So Joel Plummer lining up.
Certainly eminently more kickable than the last one. Brings it up high, just didn't get it to come back. Got underneath it.
15-10, 3 minutes into the second half.
It's horrible, that one, when you just get underneath it. It goes all the way up in the air.
I'll take your word for it. It's not one of my fortes.
Not one of your skills?
No, no. If you want to see the ugliest kick in the world, I'll have a go.
Rahali, deep and high.
Oh,
nobody wanted it. Everyone kind of looked at it. Nobody took any charge, but they have got away with it. Karen out to Lassen. Lassen will make some yardage. Someone's got hands on. I think that's Lamsam with hands on. Lamsam has pilfered it, but he can't get down.
Hand out.
And is bundled into touch. Wally Bell with the hands. Wants everyone to know. President of Burnside Rugby Club.
Got the ball.
So Wenk will throw it in. There's a change, I think.
Kai Wilson. Set to come on for...
It looks like one of the France brothers is
Jacob,
going. It is Jacob France.
Jacob France. Had a solid 45 minutes.
You would normally see then there's another Burnside player being worked on in the background. I think that's the young second rower, Takaki. I hope I'm getting his name right.
I'm sure he'll tell you after.
I'll get messages.
Oh, sure you do. So Kai Wilson back into rugby for this year. Had a season off with a shoulder injury. Good to see him back out. Solid young player. Very dangerous with ball in hand.
He's got another knee.
He doesn't look very comfortable, does he?
He is looking at the knee again. There are some soft patches out there.
There are a couple of sprinkler heads that may have a couple of leaks in them, but they're doing their best to sand them down so they're not as dangerous. But yeah, they're still softer than the rest of the park.
When I got here this afternoon, it looked like an absolutely wonderful track. But
So
there are just little areas.
Knee seems to be okay. Struggle through it.
Certainly not as worried as they were about Fraser Green.
Oh, lucky to get away with that one again.
Plummer fired at him. And out the back to Satala. Then
Robbie
Ferguson. Ferguson's going to get himself going. Oh, he's met by Alan Henderson.
Solid defence. Ball again
Caron
out for
again
Murphy.
to Murphy.
Met at the line.
Makes his way to the 10-metre line. Caron looks one way, then the other. Just put it just a little bit too far in front of Logan Brown. He would have been holding his breath as soon as he let it go. Just one of the ones, just one of those ones where you think to yourself, that's right on the money.
Just about heard the gasp in with disease.
I know.
Willing it not to go forward.
Been very, very impressed with young Mr. Caron through this game. He plays with his head up.
Very much so. Delivers a good ball.
He's always looking. He knows where Plummer is. He knows where his first receiver is. He doesn't need to look for them. He's always looking for a gap. Marshall again. Beats the first one then. Green is back. But Marshall didn't need him. Marshall doesn't want him. Marshall will score. Oh no, just short. Green has to go.
Good covering tackle by Joel Plummer.
Gave it to him far too early. And a penalty.
Good defence.
Not releasing. And then someone's just had a little chirp at him. I thought for all money Marshall had got there.
Got across the white line for it to be
Just
a try.
wondering,
And kicking the ball away, what it was.
I was worried. Well, I didn't quite see anyone have a chat with him. So another one that could find its way towards us as Plummer will just...
He'd be kind to us and kick it to the
Right,
basketball.
yeah. Didn't come off the boot amazingly well from Plummer.
No, takes it out to the 22.
Yep. Nice.
So these are the tough ones, aren't they? This you can talk about. This is the tough one. You've got to hit your target because you are in red zone.
You are. It's you're either on your heels or you're going forward.
Oh, and it has gone against the head. I've given him the kiss of death. Marshall will tidy it up.
Well tackled by Kai Wilson and Ryan Murphy. Ball out to the centres. Straightening now.
And then we'll go out to Green. Green does not look to be moving as freely as he was in the first half. By any stretch of the imagination. Ball has come back though. Rahale has to go digging a little bit.
Short ball to Devlin. Well wrapped up.
The Burnside runners have done very well at just splitting the defenders.
They're running nice angles and running good shoulders.
Hamilton, oh, he
didn't
went
want it.
without it.
Double knock on.
Is that Van Dissel thought he was the dummy runner? No one to blame. Normally, when the backs knock it on, you can feel the evil eyes coming from the forwards. When it's a forward that knocks it on, they kind of.
The backs just look at it and said they tried. I think it was the right move, though. It was the ball was there for the running.
Caron nonchalantly into the tunnel and then steps back inside, finds a little bit of space, then the offload, and Hamilton puts a hand out, couldn't reel it in.
Forward passes the call. I think Snoop's just having a quiet word saying, I've got the whistle, I don't need help.
It's the hardest thing in the world, though, to not.
Oh, who'd be a referee?
I know.
You have to feed the scum with 2 hands or 1?
They're more disliked than dentists.
But not everybody walks into a dentist surgery and tries to tell the dentist what to do.
No, but they're not like that much, though, are they?
That's true.
Solid platform, centre field. Oh,
Interesting from Caron. He's getting away with it. If you choose to stand there, you've got to go with the ball. Oh, just again, just these early season rustiness.
just the pass not hitting the man, is it?
Get in there, Brighton.
Dip
Come
it
on,
right-
boys. Get in
Just
there.
dipping away, having to stretch for it.
We've got through some scrums.
We have. Boys will have some tired shoulders tomorrow.
Just round his knees. Just couldn't come back with it.
Nope. And had a little look just as he was putting hands on the ball,
Yep,
as you do.
of course you would.
I am reaching for this. Who's going to hit me now?
At least it was low. The ones that make you stretch up to the sky, just expose your ribs there.
Aren't they just a gift?
Caron again will go one-handed. It's an interesting technique. Oh, Caron just ran straight into Lamsam. He
Early
does
break.
go very early.
He does.
Didn't get away with that one. You feel like that's kind of, oh, look.
He's
Oh, yeah,
off.
no, he's way off.
No, you've got to stay down.
But it is one of those, it's like, hang on. There is no way you've got to that position that quickly without being offside.
No,
There's no way.
no. You've got to stay bound till the ball's out, and clearly wasn't.
So, interestingly, and I think it doesn't matter which way this game goes, interestingly, we're going to go into round 2 with South sat on top of the table after a big win, 79 points. That point difference will put them up there.
Yeah. Oh, another miss in the line out.
Oh, that's
Quite Wilson.
big running from Wilson. Galloping towards the 22. Then it will go into midfield, and Peter Bullower again will offload to Satala.
Bounce pass again. Cleaned up by Butler.
Butler just has to work his way through.
Off to Joe.
Again, he's dealt with.
Line out. So Burnside line out on the 22, defensive. You think this would just be your standard exit play from here?
You still got to get it right. We talked about it before. You are in red zone, and this
Nice
one they do
tidy
get
line
right.
out.
And they're just going to
March
come
it
down
up.
and drive.
Oh,
Oh, got a bit fractured, and Murphy got
and
in the
ball
way.
got dropped. Yeah, the ball went
There
down.
it goes.
Good pressure by Ryan Murphy. He's been all over the park today. He has had a monster.
I tell you what, there is a medal. There is an Anzac Day medal.
Is it?
There is. I'm pretty sure there is. I think it's the Michael von Berg medal. Right now, for me, it is a toss-up between Ryan Murphy and Hector Caron. I think Hector Caron's been very, very good today, but I think
Defensively,
Ryan Murphy just edges it.
he does. At this
So
stage,
far.
he has been around the park. He's run some very tidy lines, and his defence has been impeccable.
Very impressed with the young man.
He'll like you for calling him young.
Yeah. He's one who always will have a chat at me. Like the
Oh,
the week after.
He'll even talk to you.
Yeah, God. Always gives me feedback on what I've said.
Of course he will. He's like that.
Butler out to Satala.
Nice
Satala
in
will
out.
step inside. Then he will
Robbie
give it
Ferguson.
on. Ferguson will go over the line. Robbie Ferguson will score. This
Nice ball.
this
by
step
Butler.
from Satala
Just ball brings them in.
has to bring
Defence
Green
came with
in.
them.
And I do feel that Green is not at 100% at the moment. We did get accused of being paid off by Satala earlier on in the stream, but the evidence is there for all to see.
Yep. It was the little left foot step dragged the defence. They were in two minds, thought he was going to go for another lefty and come back in field again. So they sort of held their line and came with him.
So Plummer, I think they will.
This would be a great camera angle for him.
He's set them all out to the right. Got to go through the ball. Better connection,
kick.
and there you go, over the black dot. Plummer gets that one right. The first time we've seen him actually go through the ball rather than underneath it.
He was pulling himself short on the first couple.
Yeah, that one.
Well through the ball.
Everything behind it.
That's all my knowledge I know about kicking. Kick through the ball.
Same as golf.
Oh, don't talk to me about golf.
Oh,
either.
right, okay.
I play from tree to tree.
What was it Winston Churchill said? Golf is a good walk spoiled.
Yes. Nice take by Murphy.
Yeah.
Ball set back for Caron.
17 points to 15. As we start to reach the important part of the game. There he is again, Ryan Murphy.
Featuring.
Oh, Plummer with a little in and out, and Pitter just couldn't quite get there.
Sam Williamson out there. Caron with the ball again. Ball out to
Oh,
ball behind.
just a
Butler cleaning
little
up.
bit messy. Nice little shepherd from Pitter. I don't know whether it was on purpose, but Butler will be the beneficiary.
Well scragged. Ball available again.
Oh, inside ball, and Williamson met very, very strongly from Benja. The centre pairing from Burnside have been solid all day.
They have closed down many a hole. Out to Plummer again.
Plummer will look for a
straight
gap,
through.
finds a gap,
Ball
then he
out.
will send it on.
Out to Pitter.
Pitter
on
will
the
put it
toe.
on the boot. Is there anyone back though? How's the ball going to bounce? It is good enough. Oh, there's pointing.
Knock
No,
on.
he's knocked it on.
Oh, unlucky.
Whoa. Just see whether it just
tried to
the
pick it
one
up.
where it's supposed to sit up, it just didn't. It's that third bounce should always sit up, and it didn't.
No, the bounce of the ball, eh?
Oh.
A rugby ball, you can never trust it. Unless it's sitting still on the ground.
Even then.
Even then. So big defensive scrum for Burnside, right on their try line.
So said exit play before.
This would be a definite exit play. I think it might be a pick and go and a reset.
There's about 6 people in the pocket.
Surely they all can't be kicking.
Looks like Hamilton has gone. I mean, just nervy times, isn't it?
Big scrum though.
Oh,
and a
there you go.
penalty
That's
from the
what you
scrum.
want. See whether we can see a signal.
Driving in by the look of
Driving
that.
in again.
That'd be on the
Someone.
far side.
One of them.
On the far side.
Oh, yeah. If that call's come from this touchline. That's a
So-
very good spot from...
Kai Wilson called for the angle.
He was almost 90 degrees, though, so it wasn't a tough one.
No. And ball is out.
We go 17 points to 15 as we approach, well, just 21 minutes to go.
Still a mountain of rugby to be played.
Oh, loads of it.
Ugly line-out ball. Finally controlled, taken down. Ball's back at the back.
This is what we expect, though, from Brighton versus Burnside. Close. Punch for punch, like a good Rocky movie.
Who's Rocky? Which one?
She She's a massive part of Burnside Rugby Club, I'll give her that. Raleigh gives it to Marshall. Marshall fights to get to ground, gets to ground.
Tackled at the advantage line. Another solid bit of defence from Burnside, from Brighton.
Mitch Wenk.
Oh.
The old chest on tackle, that's a messy one, and then
Oh, well done. Good bit of counter ruck.
Brighton will turn it over. Caron had a look and he's just going to hand it over. Good counter ruck, and then struggling to see what it is, but I'm going to guess that it's Lamsam.
He might have just decided to hang on to it. Plummer for the corner.
It's not a bad penalty to give away from Lamsam, because your other option would be a counter attack from this very dangerous Brighton backline. And I'll be honest with you, they've been corralled very, very well by this Burnside backline. It's been.
It has been. It's been, like you said, it's been punch for punch. Both sides have attacked well. The defence has been exceptional.
Just a little bit messy off the top. Logan Brown will tidy it up and just rumble and roll around the outside. And keep going. Logan Brown will get there. Logan Brown will score.
Try time, Logie Brown. This classic hit and spin.
He loves it. Blair Marshall, just a little bit of a falcon afterwards.
So here's the ball you scored.
Just rolled around the first one, and then too strong for Rahali, too strong for Lamsam, and too low, I think, for Barker.
Just body height all the way. You can't tackle Logie Brown high at all.
The assistance from
Sam
Williamson.
Nice little drive. Latched on well. I think he would have got there all by himself.
Little bit of breathing space from the boys from Brighton.
One try in it with a kick to come.
This kick could mean everything.
Just that 2-point cushion, won't it? Head down, kick through the ball. Is that how it goes?
That's how it goes. I think one of the biggest things is that the kickers will try and look for it too early.
Head down, kick through the ball.
Yeah.
He watched it all the way. He was happy with that off the tee. So the two, try and two.
Once it's gone, it's gone. You can't do anything about it.
You can lean, will it, everything you like. When it comes off that boot, it's done.
So concentrate, get your head down, and then you can have a look. Because once it comes off your boot, doesn't matter.
Although I have seen some kickers with it on a string. Heads one way, comes back in and over. Time off.
Time off. What are we?
Substitution.
Is there change?
Or
I'm just wondering.
Yep, substitution.
Okay, so it's a Burnside substitution.
Seems to be a bit of movement on the Brighton bench, a few warming up.
Not sure who's gone off. Well, that's right on the 10.
Knock on in the air, yep.
So it will be a Burnside ball, but no advantage. So it is our Anzac round. Obviously, Anzac Day was on Thursday.
It was.
But it is the traditional Anzac round, which is always a rematch of the
grand final repeat.
Grand final from last year. I know some people get upset when you call it a rematch, a replay.
First round of the season.
Basically, the grand finalists play in the first round.
First round of the season, and the winner hosts.
And the winner hosts. So we've been at Brighton for the last 2 years.
We have.
It's like they made a change at halfback. Hamilton will stay out there, and
congested in the middle.
Green did very, very well. Just slowed down, then found a gap.
Fights for the ground. Ball's back and available.
Inside ball. He kept going, yeah. Kieran Brown, that is, and he's a fiery young man.
Good hard line. Oh, that
good inside ball, but
just
got to let it go.
Oh, Chad Bowker's on for Brighton in 19.
I think Bullower, he skirts that line with legal tackles.
And that's straight over our head. He does
skirt the line.
I think that's sevens coming into it.
It's illegal in sevens as well.
Well, it's a bit more open and fast moving, and you have to keep up with the play.
Oh, 2 balls on.
I don't think it's going to make any difference with 2 balls on the field. We'll still get knock on. Big line out for Brighton here.
2, 3.
Gone deep.
Oh,
and
just
to-
about got hands to it, but it has turned up in Burnside hands.
And it's gone forward, playing advantage.
Marshall, inside
nice
ball.
inside ball. Well contained though.
Kind of the wrong way around, the forward giving it to the back. Lamsam into half back to Hamilton. Hamilton will put it on the boot and just dribble it into touch.
Finds touch on the far side. Hopefully Brighton can sort their line out for this one. It's starting to get closer and closer for a Burnside green zone.
Some wonderful stories in this Brighton side. Keegan Lassen, who's been around the club for years and years and years and has worked incredibly hard and has always been an off the bench player, but it's nice to see him starting.
It is.
Earning his spot. Oh, Lamsam,
and she
pickpocket.
gripped.
Hamilton. Then out into
Ball
midfield
just
to
behind
Benja. Benja will just straighten. Try and find a little bit more space.
Bit of a wobbly
the
ball
bounce
out,
pass
bounce
out.
pass again. It's been from both sides today. Contained 15 from the sideline. Going to look blind again. And
Sambrook. Oh, you could hear that
tackle.
one.
That was bone crunching.
But into touch and a Brighton ball.
Everyone slowly up and okay.
It's met by absolutely everybody.
Welcome to the second half of Brighton.
Yeah, jeez.
Do you like our sideline?
Gone back again and again, they've missed it.
Early jump.
Oh.
Free kick.
So, Brighton decide to go quick. Brown to Butler, to Pitter. Pitter will just stutter and then give it out to Satala, then out to Joe. With a little bit of time and a little bit of space, then he'll put the ball on the boot. Now it's a foot race. Oh, the ball didn't help anybody. Bounce did not help anybody, but it's a
Offside.
penalty for offside.
I think there was 3 in front then.
Oh, Marshall decides he wants to go very nonchalant with it. Then he'll just put the foot down. Doesn't look like he was playing touch.
Just got to ease the gears.
Oh,
into
good
it.
quick hands from Sambrook. Now they come out to this near side. Steps inside, runs through the arms of Pitter. Support came quick enough. Brown with the dummy run. Again, just keeps working into one of those sprinkler heads that we were talking about. Hamilton inside ball to Devlin. Devlin couldn't get away from Lassen, but they have managed to keep going. Then they fire it out to that far side to Lamsam. Lamsam will step back inside. He's dealt with.
Oh. Unlucky on the clean out then.
Now we're starting to see a little bit of free-flowing and free-form rugby. Lamsam again.
Starting to get a little bit messy over there. Need to control their defence and
Penalty.
straight off the feet. Going to go quickly again.
Yep,
Yeah,
Marshall
here we
will
go.
go.
Oh, well taken. That man, Ryan
That's our
Murphy
man,
again.
Ryan Murphy.
Oh,
Then
Sealing
sealing
off.
off. So that's 2 in quick succession.
Logan Brown sealing off.
Smart.
You think we'll go for a scrum here? We are.
Yeah, no body weight at all there from Logan Brown.
There's nothing in front of him either. You've got to pick who you're going to dive into.
I think you would say as well around this time, 12 minutes to go, 11 minutes to go, that now your pre-season, all the fitness work you've done, now it's when it starts to tell. See some people with some hands on knees.
Knees, hips, heads. Deep breaths. Off the
Marshall
back again.
will go again, straight at Plummer. Plummer does enough. And they will go out to Hamilton. Showed the inside ball, then tries to roll around the corner. Brighton have done very well. They haven't been sucked in. Outside again.
3 metres short.
Lamsam is there. You know, he'll start to think about things at the back of every ruck then. Then they will just run around the corner. He will just bounce over the line. English will score. Well, there's just a little bit of conversation afterwards from Pitter. Let's just Route 1 rugby. Head down and go. Sam Brook just giving him a cuddle for afters.
Unlucky on the tackle there, but
you can't. You've got to be. You've got to be front on at that point, haven't you?
2-man tackle that close in, but yeah. A nice try by Burnside. Puts them back 24-20.
So it will be that 2-point difference as we enter the last 10 minutes of this round 1 clash.
Still plenty to work on for both sides for Tuesday, Thursday. There'll be a few conversation points about it.
Green will take his time. That
one. Right over the dot.
Just turn around and run back. Fraser. 2 points the difference. 10 minutes to go. Grandstand finish. I tell you what, these two sides do love. These two sides do absolutely adore keeping us waiting until the last minute of the game, don't they?
It's well, it's another nail biter, isn't it? So more substitutions for Brighton. Got Mark Albon on the wing, jersey 17.
That one does make the 10, and Pitter again can win it one. Knocked on. Feels a bit.
Yeah. Wasn't much in that one.
No, I felt like he knocked it backwards and then it bounced back towards him. Well, there's a Burnside scrum. Can Brighton hold on? Can they nick something?
Needs to be a big scrum here from Brighton.
If you watch Caron, if he does it again, he doesn't follow around and he moves around the back.
He held the blind side that time. Good 2-man tackle in the centre field. Low and high. Held the player up.
I think the maul has been called.
And
everyone's going to come. We'll just wait for that whistle and the signal. It is
30-odd people in there.
Forward.
Satala was probably the only Brighton player that wasn't involved in that one.
Sensible.
So, yes. There's no room in there. You're not going to touch the ball.
Almost resigned the ball carrier in the middle. Just get on with it.
Nobody was going to let it go. So Brighton scrum need a big scrum here. Need a little bit of go forward. Nice centre field position on the 10-metre line. Decisions both sides.
Caron, I am interested in this one-handed put into the scrum.
Oh, nice ball.
Just fired a plumber again. Number of times you hear it just hit his chest. Caron doesn't give him an option. No. You either catch it or you get stretch it off.
Catch it or pick it up on the other 22 because it's going to bounce that far ahead. Pitter straightening. Contain. Ball out again. Ryan France taken nice and low. Ball available.
Defensively, both sides have been very good. There's a Gregan to Pitter. Pitter has got one to beat, and he will.
Make sure of it this time. Magnificent ball.
Ah, the Gregan ball. And that's what we talked about with Caron all night. He's played with his head up. He's looked for the gaps. This time he's found one.
Created.
Again, this is that much space for Pitter. He is
he's
going
a
to
hard
punish
man to
you.
stop. Everyone heading open, just the cutback.
I've seen that Alex Rockabura is watching, and this one's for you, Alex. That's a coach killer. When your pillar defender chases the halfback,
First rule of pillar defence, don't move.
stay where you are.
You've got to stop that inside roll.
It's Sambrook who just wanders out. It's one of the hardest things to do. I mean,
Turning and chasing Pitter from 25 metres out is always a hard ask.
so again, a good look at it from Plummer. Breathing space with 5 minutes to go.
And
Better. Had a look at that one. He wasn't overly sure.
oh, he was sure.
Had a good long look at that
He
one.
just liked to watch it go. It was a nice, tidy ball.
Nice little bit of draw on it.
Yep, kicks well through it.
They're the ones you should be able to watch. There it
he's
goes.
like-
Look
look at
beautiful.
that, yes.
Looks lovely.
I don't have to chase my tee. I must have kicked it right. Into the last 5 minutes.
Hamilton, and again, just bang on that 10-metre line.
Messy ball. Knock on.
Knock on Burnside. So it'll be a Brighton scrum inside their own half. Lots and lots of space out here. Starting to see a little bit of fatigue running through both sides, really. There's not as much animation from the players at every whistle. They just seem to grab as much of their breath as they possibly can.
Take their time and wander in slowly. Ball's in and at the back and out. Out to Plummer, reaching for it. Joe coming through on the inside line. High tackle.
High
Everything's
tackle.
always a high tackle on Joe. It's a bit tough.
We love you, Joe, but you know, pretty much everything is above the shoulders with you.
Especially when you're running it forwards.
Just a lazy one from over the back.
Just keep it down was the advice from Snoop.
I can't keep it any further down.
Go around the knees. Plummer kicking for touch. We're on about the 10-metre line.
Making it. So Brighton will have a line out inside the Burnside half. Feel that the difference between Burnside and Brighton in this game is Burnside have
over the back.
Oh, and it's bounced and
Chad
found
Bowker
its way
picked it
all the way out to Bowker.
Tackle ball. Final protection on it.
Caron looked one way, then decided to go back the other way. Out onto that far side.
Oh, stripped in the tackle.
Burnside are going to come away. Devlin shakes away from the first one, juggles it.
Scragged. Sitting centre field, midway 22 10-metre line. Ball out again. Contain. Butler holding him up.
Strong from Butler. Then to Marshall, then to Devlin. Devlin
doesn't mind.
Got through one, can't get through France. France has been solid as well. Now they'll look down that far side to Green. Green draws and gives. Then they are away, puts the ball on the boot. There's too many people back there. And we talked about the reading of the game, and there is Satala. It's a whistle.
Are we calling shepherding there?
Possibly.
Playing the man on the way through.
Just trying whether we can see anything in the background.
The two halfbacks playing on each other.
Nah, again, halfbacks.
They were just having a chat about who could run faster. Ball down into the corner.
Brighton, 1 minute left.
15 metres out.
Someone called less than 1 minute left, and I don't think it's an official timekeeper. Marshall at
take,
2.
Reset.
Good.
Trying for the drive. Brighton's trying to
counter
force
from
him towards
Brighton.
the sideline. Ball's at the back.
Lamsam has
Still
hands
inching
on.
forward.
Now they can start to get that forward momentum going. Don't come in the side. Don't give away a penalty. It's just going to be rinse and repeat if you do. Popped through the middle. I think that's Brown has popped through the middle.
Ball out again into the centres.
Benja
One back.
fired it at Hamilton and
Well
Pitter
read
read
by
it
Pitter
and stole it.
Stearns. Ball sitting at the back now for Hector.
Couple of steps back to Joe. Joe decides to put it on the boot. Has he found touch?
Nope.
No, the bounce is going to favour Green. Green takes it at full pace. Then we'll look for her outside, and the black and yellow shirts swarm again. There's a whistle. There's a little bit of afters. Didn't see. Let's see whether we can pick it.
No.
No.
Nothing in that.
I wonder whether Donald Clune is going to get for no arms.
No, there was arms in that.
Yeah, that looks like there was arms in it.
I don't think he
seen
released.
a signal.
I think it was a clear release, playing the ball.
We're losing, so you just can't bear to watch.
And we're going to have
Green
a
has
chat.
gone down, and now it's the other knee, I think.
The one with tape on it this time.
The one with tape on it. So, we are officially in red time. We do play time on. He wants to speak to somebody. He's talking to Nathan Satala. He's got his hand in his pocket again. Fair way away from us. He has got his hand in his pocket.
Yellow card for.
And it is Donald Clune. So I wonder whether it was something to do with that tackle.
Final drive, you would think, for Burnside.
Could be too little, too late for them.
Well, they're still outside the converted try, aren't they?
They will pop it into the corner, and you think that
Brings them back within 7 though, for the bonus.
7-man pack at the moment. They can't make the change because it's not a scrum. You can make a change and bring on a front rower. You can't because it's not a scrum.
Nope. And they'll go for the drive from there. Yep.
Again, they've managed to just stop that initial drive.
Oh, and
Haven't
they've
managed to
splintered.
stop the secondary one. Again, just careful not to come in the side, and it has gone to ground,
that'll be
and
it, I
Brighton will
thought.
get it. And there you will see some clapping and some head pats.
Time on still.
And I think that could be all she wrote.
Right, we're playing the scrum. And we will have Kai Wilson coming back on.
So time off again. Yeah, so that's the point. They'll make a front row change. Someone will have to go off for him, and they can't just bring him on
Chad
and go to
Bowker.
15. So Chad Bowker's going to make way.
That's his night done.
You would think so.
I would have thought so, being 82 minutes in. Time back on. A final scrum. You think Hector will get this to the back and find
They'll be
look
asking
for the safety of
questions.
the touchline.
So we'll have had, they will already know whether that's it. The fact that he stopped time would suggest that it's not.
No.
So they're going to go. Plummer.
Satala.
Whoa! That's Satala sitting down the Hamilton.
Oh, nice angles. Clean out. Ryan
Ryan
Murphy going
Murphy
again,
will look.
making a half break. Contained.
Ryan Murphy, for me, has been the best player of this game.
He has. Logie Brown having another roll. Two
Got
players over
himself
the
a
ball.
little bit isolated,
ball
but
is
it's come
available.
back.
Kai Wilson.
Just pick and
go.
drive timer, you would think now, wouldn't you?
Little knock on there.
Oh, it's going to be a Brighton ball.
Blue knock on.
I'm going to ask the question again.
How long since
How long?
Yep. Just a little hand there trying to pilfer.
Again, time off for somebody.
There's a couple
That's Nigel Lamsam again on the floor.
having a little rest. I think he's checking out one of the sprinkler heads. I think he got one on the top of the head by the look of that.
It's the second time he's gone down with that head neck area today. He's a tough man.
He definitely puts himself out there, puts his body on the line. Any chance at a breakdown, and he'll try and get his hands on the ball.
So while we just have this break in play, obviously Burnside will host Unca Paringa next week, who probably stung a little bit by old collegians today.
I think so. I think they'll come back with a bit of vengeance
So
for next week.
they'll be making their way up South Road. They'll be making their way up South Road, hoping to just get back into the swing of things. So that's not going to be an easy game for Burnside. Burnside themselves are probably going to want to just make amends for what had happened this week. Brighton making their way to Old Coles, who have a little bit of wind in their sails.
College at home's always a tough game, but Brighton like to travel to Coles. We've had some good results out there.
Get them at the right time of the season. Obviously,
So.
Old Coles was the finish from Tremaine Butler over in the corner.
Yes.
They're going to blow the bugle again.
So another scrum.
Must be so much time, isn't it?
Ball's in. Murphy off the back. Well tackled.
Almost fitting that Ryan Murphy is going to see us out of this game. Caron desperate to get his hands on the ball. I think that would be it. They are just going to pick and drive again, and someone's got to keep asking the question. Murphy again.
Murphy again. I think the ball's got his name on it.
And I think
Plummer marshalling
out
at the back.
to Satala. Satala is still going, so obviously haven't had the call yet.
Very messy at that breakdown. Ball's available though. One more run.
Jacob Frantz will keep going. Penalty, Burnside. Still think that it's not enough.
Go. Get back. Back 10.
Not entirely sure what.
Holding onto the ball
Holding
on the
on.
ground.
Yeah. Oh,
Bit of volleyball.
well, it's gone into the in goal, and Joe has got all of the field to go.
He's got
Can't get. Well, he has managed to get away from the first one.
Only 105 metres to go. Not undoable for him. Ball's protected at the back. And
then it will find its way out.
Nope.
No, Fraser Green. Nobody wants to go home. Green will show. Green will go.
Tackle.
Just an ankle tap as he entered the 22.
ball available.
Out to Hamilton. Hamilton, short ball to Van Dissel. Cries of call them out. Oh, intercept. Elborn with the intercept. Almost had it stolen again. Then Joe will put it on the foot. Now it's a foot race.
Oh,
Burnside will win the foot race.
must release it on the ground though.
Don't think he knows what town he's in. I think he copped one massively. There's two people on the floor. Oh, that's a...
That's a Fijian shin.
Yeah. I don't think he knew... don't think he knew what was going on, and oh... It's a tough one. It's one of those borderline ones.
Checking to
Whether
see
he
if
saw
his
it come
scalp's
down.
still attached
Oh.
to his head. Doesn't look that
It
comfortable.
doesn't look
does it?
he's in a comfortable position. Didn't see who it was. I didn't get
That
a
was
number.
Pitter.
No, it was Pitter who managed to whack him in the back of the head.
I think it was. Oh, no, can't
Nope.
see from that shot.
Can't see that one.
What have we got? 11.
That's Barker, I think.
Barker.
Big cop one in the back of the head.
Yep. Does not look comfortable. Sitting up though.
I think Ryan Murphy just getting his 5 minutes of fame. He's walked away. He was a little bit shy of it, but Ryan Murphy, the number 8, he's been very, very impressive today.
He did ask for a special mention for SA Masters for later on in the year.
He doesn't qualify as a master, does he?
Oh no, I think he is part of the organisers. So
Oh, there you
that's
go.
who he works for.
Marshall is going to have a run as well.
And Murphy straight back in over the top. Must release it. Oh,
He has been impressive today, Ryan Murphy.
he has worked hard.
Whoa, elbow! Sunbrook!
We've we've got
just went crazy. It
Oh.
just went.
quick ball again.
You keep an eye on the play. I'll have a look at that elbow, and then
Oh.
Sambrook just snaffled it away. Oof, I tell you what, as well, Ryan Murphy was lucky. There was no arms in that challenge.
I think the whistle had already gone.
Marshall again.
Marshall
Who's put
running
a
hard
shift
again.
in again? Blair Marshall.
Must be a battle of the number 8s to see who can do the most work for today.
Little show and go from English.
Murphy making another tackle.
Satala and Murphy.
Marshall a bit
Hamilton.
slow to get up.
Devlin.
Wide
Devlin
ball.
will float it out to Benja. Benja will step back inside. Benja will put the foot down, then send it out on the outside. Has to
Bundled
bring it
into
back
touch.
in. It's gone into touch. And
That
there
is
is the final whistle. Brighton will win that one. Yet again, there will be blood for summer. 31 points to 22. Absolutely rip-roaring game of rugby here at CME Sports Lighting Rugby Field. Steph, your final thoughts?
Tough game. Big one to open the season for both Burnside and Brighton. Tough thought there's going to be some tired bodies tomorrow, I would say.
Yeah, there'll be some trips down to Brighton Beach, you would think,
I'd say so.
just to try and get some
Get some blood flow back through the legs to get some bruising down.
231 days. We said it at the beginning of the broadcast, 231 days, and we are back. And we are better than ever, and we will be back again next week. Ladies and gentlemen, from myself, Dave Webb, and Steph Redmond, thank you very much for joining us. Brighton take out the 2019 Anzac Memorial Cup.
You're coming with me, aren't you?
That's how you know it. Shook off a couple. He's still going. Butler over in the corner. That's the line. Over the line he rolls. Burnside. Brighton. Uncle Eaton's have turned it over.